Okay, let's go.
It's time for Be Picked. When you're ready to move from clicks to clients, learn to be picked.
Welcome to Be Picked. We are the podcast that talks about how professional service providers can build their business and get out there in this new age of whatever the heck is going on the internet and what type of marketing you need to do. My name is Andrew Kolsky. I am your host, and today we're talking with Billy Sammons, and Billy runs Live Local Marketing. And he's going to talk with us about referral marketing and what that is and how you do it and how he has made a success for himself by doing that. So, Billy, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I love the idea that your group is the perfect people that need all this information, and we need to have some mindset shifts. So we're going to get some mind shifts going on today. We're going to teach people how to have fun marketing because it's not broccoli, it's ice cream.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Nobody's going to turn down ice cream.
Nobody.
So maybe the best place to start is you're someone who's not just talking about it. You're someone who's talking about it because you did it and you live it. So you had to start your business at some point from scratch, which a lot of our listeners are struggling with that. So can you give us the background story? Like how did you do it? What happened and what got you to where you are?
Yeah, superhero origin story. Love it. So it was 16 years ago. 16 years ago. It sounds weird saying that out loud. 16 years ago. So 16 years ago, I started real estate, which is in a similar position with a lot of the lawyers and the doctors and the people you have in your profession where we have to get sales. We got to meet people. So I was on that same wavelength. I got into the space, but I didn't want to be the typical real estate agent because they're a dime a dozen. You can't walk through the grocery store without bumping into 3 or 4 or 5 of them on the way through the grocery store. So I wanted to be somebody that was different. I was somebody in my past who was also a teacher and a coach and somebody who was very community oriented. So I wanted to carry that into my real estate and be somebody who is involved in the community. And about that same time, we had a local brewery that opened up, and it was one of those that had like food trucks every Friday and kids games, and you can bring your dogs. And it was such a community feel to it. It was a really awesome place, but it was really tucked away kind of far back. And I was there a few times and I met the owners. I'm like, hey, listen, I need all the people in my audience to know you're here because I need you to succeed. We don't have a lot of cool stuff here. I want you to do well. So I'm like, why don't we do a commercial? At that time, my first son was about to be born and my wife bought a camera to take pictures. This is pre cell phone. Cell phone couldn't do the job at it. Like it was the whole stand in the camera. And I'm like, let's do a quick commercial. So 16 years ago, we did the commercial and I had so much fun doing it. Then I'm like, I'm doing more of these. This was a good time. And so I went to the bakery. I went to the school charity. I went to the police station. I went everywhere and started just meeting people and doing these commercials. And about halfway through, I realized that it wasn't necessarily like trying to gain attention from my audience as it was making great connections with local business owners in my community. And when I started that mindset shift of I want to be popular and have a bunch of audience to I need to know all the local business owners, my business expanded. It grew 3-4 times, and I started getting referrals and became referral partners with a lot of the business owners in my community. And my business took off from there. So it was just a matter of giving with intention and actually doing the thing you say you're going to do, and just meeting people through connections. It was fun.
Wow. So, all right. One of the things that I'm sure is spinning around in the listeners' minds right now is, well, sure, you went out there and you got, boots on the ground. You went and visited all these businesses. I'm sitting in my office. I can barely keep my head above water with my work. I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
How am I going to do it?
So, I mean, you have to have clients and you have to have customers. The only other way, the way I was told in the very, very, very beginning is you have to have cold leads, right? You have to go give Zillow your money. You have to give Google your money. You have to give them your money. They give you lists of people. But even then, you still have to call that person 3 to 5 times before, that lead converts. And even then, after you call them 3 to 5 times, those only convert 3% of the time if you're hustling. So why wouldn't you go out there and make one-on-one connections with people that have audiences already built in instead of chasing down all these cold leads that only convert 3% of the time? Because if you're buying leads, which you can't afford if you're a startup business anyway, a lot of your audience is startups, you don't have 10 grand laying around to start doing Google ads. And even then, most of the people are just wackies. They're just clicking buttons. They're not really clients. They're not really people you need to meet. However, if you go out there and make these intentional connections with people in your community, they've got referral bases. They all need your services. They see that you're an ally. They see you're somebody on the community trying to help them, and you start becoming referral partners. That is the quickest way, the most genuine way, and the most affordable way to grow your business. So I would counterpoint that with referrals better.
Okay. All right. So if a doctor or a lawyer,
Yes.
let's pick those two first. If they're
Yeah.
listening to this and they say,
Yes.
okay, all right, so you've convinced me to get, out from behind my desk and go and talk to people in the community. What am I supposed to say to them? Hi, I'm a lawyer. Hire me. I mean, what do I say?
I'm way right. No, actually, you don't talk about your services at all, really, because most lawyers, most doctors are doing what they're doing because they want to help others. That is generally the cornerstone that I believe, because most people aren't in it for the money first and foremost. They want to genuinely give and help. So you reach out to your community. Hey, listen, I'm starting a firm. I'm new to the community. I want to meet more people. I want to start helping. I want to start giving. And I know you may need more attention, or I've got an audience, or I've got people I'd love you to meet. Can we just do a quick commercial? It'll take like a half an hour. And then from there, you've made that connection with that business owner. Key is you want to make sure you start with business owners and people that align with your values. So as a doctor, as a lawyer, you need to stop and think about what your values are, what's important to you, because once you start with yourself and what the values are, you know who you should start aligning with. You don't want to start aligning with people that are takers or people that are like salesy, or you need to know who you are first. And then once you start making these connections and start getting out into the audience and you start building that rapport, people start coming your way. Be like, hey, listen, Fred, who owns the law firm, does these quick videos. There's like a half an hour and he's got a pretty good audience. He's a good guy to know. They start coming to you. So, I mean, the hustle is only for the first few years anyway, because once you start establishing yourself, people start coming to you for a little bit of attention. And odds are they probably need some of your service. A lot of these business owners over everybody, need lawyers, need
Hmm.
doctors. They have
Hmm.
families. They have things they need. So that is exactly your target audience. So it makes sense to start cutting some time every week to start reaching out to businesses and say, listen, I want to help. I want to be part of this community. It's important to me that you succeed. Can I just come do a video? Don't pitch yourself. Don't say
Hmm.
what you do and what you have. Just say, listen, I want to help.
Hmm.
That's it.
So, that hits upon a sort of a psychological principle that I use not
Yes.
not only in marketing, but I happen to do mental health work, which is what led me to have to learn marketing and do all this.
Yeah. Yep.
And one of the
Yep.
things that I talk about with people all the time from either the mental health side or the marketing side is they'll say, I never get invited anywhere. Nobody ever reaches out to me. People don't come. And I ask them, how many times have you invited them? Well, I haven't. Okay. Well, maybe
Then
it's a two-way
maybe.
street. Maybe
Yep.
if you reached out to them first, they'd get to know you and then they'd
Hmm.
feel the desire to invite you
Exactly.
to the next thing. You can't, always be the one to be invited. You got to do some inviting.
It's exact. And the beauty of this system that you're talking about and the referral system I teach is you can be introverted or extroverted. I
Hmm.
mean, what's more introverted than meeting somebody one-on-one and having an intimate conversation about their business? If you're extroverted, great. You can parlay that into events. You can parlay it into more even things to do. But either way, invert or extroverted, this works for you. It depends on how you want to go about and approach it. So that's
Hmm.
exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. And I bet if you're a listener and if you were to go out to, it can be anything, a chamber of commerce event, a local
Yeah.
meeting of,
Yes.
entrepreneurs,
Yep.
businesses, whatever.
Yep.
I bet when you're there, if you're a doctor, you're going to find other doctors. If you're a lawyer, you're going to find other
Yes.
lawyers. If you're a realtor, you're going to find
Yes.
other realtors. They're out there marketing. They're the ones getting the clients. So if you want to start getting the clients, you need to be doing the same thing.
Here's the beauty of it. To piggyback off of that, let's say there's 4 other doctors in the room, but you're the one saying, hey, listen, I want to help you, want to do a commercial with you. Who are they going to call when they need services? You, because you're in the ally. You've helped them. You've helped them something of their business. Story time, what a quick story time. I was at an event and I bumped into somebody who I did not know, but made Netflix movies in our community. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. Had I just said, hey, Shelton, can we sit down and grab coffee sometime? He'd be like, yeah, whatever. It wouldn't have been a priority. But I said, hey, listen, I've got this podcast. I want to have you on and start talking about the next movie you got coming out. He made it a priority because he knew that I was going to give him something and bring him an audience. And so the situation changes. The value add you provided makes a deeper and better connection that makes you more memorable. And so when they need you for something or they think of something that is related to doctors or lawyers or whatever, you're the one that stands out because you've been by their side helping them, not just another doctor just exchanging cards at the BNI groups. It makes all the
Right.
difference in the world.
Right. Oh my God. So that's a super important thing that I want to
Yeah.
highlight here for a second.
Yes.
So, I can tell you just personally, as someone who attends events, the last thing in the world I ever want to hear is somebody new coming up to me, not to just introduce themselves, but to just push the hard sale. You know,
Yes.
guaranteed, I will go to somebody else before I go to you if you approach me that way. You are not there to sell something. You're there to meet
Never.
people and make genuine connections as a human.
Yep.
People will then naturally ask about what you do, and they'll understand and they'll remember it. You're not trying to get a sale this second. You're trying to build that relationship. So what has your experience been with things like that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just think the two sentences, right? Like you walk up to somebody, like you said, and say, "Hey, listen, I love what you're doing at the bakery. I just want to come in and do a quick commercial because I'd love my audience to see what you do and I want more people to know about you. Like, I love what you're doing." Versus, "Hey, I'm Billy. I do real estate. When you're ready to buy a house, just let me know." The impact of those two different sentences are huge because one is going to get you in a connection and make a referral partner, and you're going to sit down with somebody and create an actual relationship because most of the people in your audience are not working a job, they're building a career. And if
Hmm.
you want to build a career, you need to make these referral relationships early in your career and then stay in touch and keep in touch with these people because that's how you build a practice, not just a job where you sell one-off gigs. And so
Right.
those two sentences, think about that. Like, "Hey, I'm a doctor, I help you," versus, "Hey, I do a local podcast or I do a video commercial." And I use those as my example because there's three reasons. I do that because I know every business needs it. More promotion, more exposure. One, or two, I have fun doing it. It's just something I enjoy doing it because you have to have fun with whatever you decide your give is. And three, it's scalable. Like I can do it with any business. I don't have to customize that for anybody. I can just do the same video commercial for any businesses. So those three things ticked off the boxes. But if
Hmm.
you're somebody who has a different give and you think those three things are there, it's fun, it's scalable, then do something else. I just always use my videos and my podcast as an example because every business needs more FaceTime, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm going to share another story that you made me think of as we're
Yeah.
talking about this.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, working for yourself, you generally you can get lonely sometimes. And so what I do during the day is I'll go out to local coffee shops and things and sit down, get a cup of coffee, bring my computer, do some of my work. So there's a new bakery slash coffee shop that opened up down the street from me about a year ago. And I went in, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. The people were
Hmm.
nice. And they asked me, this is early on. I'm new customer, new whatever, but I started to know the people behind the register. And they said, would you mind doing a Google review for us? I said, sure, I'll be happy
Hmm.
to. So
Shit.
I don't do Google, I don't even think about doing that stuff. But I said, sure, I'll be happy to. So I take out my cell phone. I literally just snap, a couple pictures inside the bakery, and I
That's it.
give a nice
Yeah.
comment of an honest comment of what I think about the place. That was we're probably about a year ago now. Within, I think it was 3 months of me posting that.
Yeah.
In the first
We
three
saw it.
months, it had over 250,000 views. Now we're up to it's probably close to 1 million views by now.
Hmm.
So, the reach that you get, the goodwill that you get, I didn't ask for anything from them. I've never asked them for a free cup of coffee. I'm not interested in that. It's just building the rapport, but they know me now,
Exactly.
and if people are getting into a conversation and they're saying, I know a guy that does that stuff. That's the way that this
Yes.
works.
I mean, all right, so take that example. Let's say you run a doctor's office. Use the email that has your doctor office logo, and now 250,000 people have seen your logo, and you didn't do anything. You didn't spend any money. You just left a review. Now let's do this. Let's say you're the doctor's office and you're really focused on the Live Local framework. You take that Google review page, put it on your Facebook page and say, "Hey, listen, if you've ever been to this coffee shop, also leave a review," and tag the coffee shop so other people can leave reviews too. That coffee shop sees it and we're like, not only did he leave a review, but he got me 10 more reviews. This guy really wants me to do well. And so you establish yourself as somebody different in the community that's not just out for yourself, but you're trying to help other people grow too. And it makes all the difference in the world. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But there's one big but here.
Let's
The
go.
big
Let's
but
do it. I
is,
love it.
if you're going to be doing reviews, great. We just gave you the case for doing it, but please
Yeah, that's right.
don't put a bunch of negative reviews out there.
Yes.
That is
Yeah,
not
just
going to make
skip
you
it.
look good, and you're
That's
really not
right.
achieving anything. We
No.
need to leave the ego and everything at the door.
Yeah. If you didn't have a good experience, just go back one more time, because sometimes businesses have a bad day, and try it one more time. And if the second time doesn't go well, just kind of keep it to yourself.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you think
Yeah.
that you're making the business look bad, you're making yourself look bad, because then
Yeah.
people
It's
see
not
your
good.
reviews. Oh, this is just a whiner. This is just someone
Yeah,
who
that's
complains about
right.
everything, and they're not
It's
going to
true.
want to do business with you.
No, 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 no,
So,
no, no. But
all right. So, when we talk about the referral marketing, obviously this
yeah,
is what we have been talking about. But,
yes, yes.
what, other than just sort of going and meeting local businesses in the community, is there more of a plan or intentional plan that you talk with people about that they can kind of develop as they're getting themselves going and really figuring out where do I really want to go and start?
Yeah, it depends on what your goals are. Obviously, that's where most businesses start with. What do you want to achieve? What do you want to do? I would think for most law firms, doctors' offices, real estate, people of that nature, they're trying to grow audiences and they're trying to be remembered. They're trying to stay front of mind, right? So
Hmm.
one of the other things you want to do is you want to start creating an email list together, right? And so that email list is a very important way to stay in front of mind. But if you sit there and talk about your services every single week, people aren't going to open those emails. I mean, there's so many times you can talk about law where people are like, wow, that is boring. I am not opening this email anymore. And you'll see your open rates like 3%, 4%. Now, take my case. My open rate's around 40 to 50%, depending on the email. Because I don't sell any of my own stuff. I talk about what food trucks are opening up this weekend. I do the most recent interview that I've done with the little bakery or whoever I wanted to meet, or I make a list of here's some 3 or 4 things you should do this weekend. It's stuff that people need and want to know about their own community. And so my open rates are really high because they know they're going to get value once they click on it. They go in there and they can see the interview I just did with the Poke Bowl place. And they're like,
Hmm.
oh, I've been trying to I'm meaning to see that place. I've seen the truck here and there. And so my open rates are high because I'm not selling anything. I'm giving them value because you're a doctor, you're a lawyer. People just assume you know what you're doing with the law, and you don't need to keep talking about how much you know about law. You need to show them what things in their community they need to know about, or what things in their community are important. And you need to be town hall. If you're town hall and everybody's had to go through to get some information, your open rates are going to expand. You're going to be 40, 50, 60%. Stop trying to just put these boring law firm like me. How many times can I talk about FH loans before I fall asleep reading my own emails? Like, it's just terrible. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm doing fun stuff that people actually want to read and actually want to do it. And that's one of the beauties of doing this. It's the unlimited content you create once you go out to the community and start just doing some interviews and doing some things with the people in your communities.
Right, right. So, all right. So then here's my next question for you.
You do it. Go ahead, do it.
As an entrepreneur for myself, in the very beginning of entrepreneurial pursuits, I had to learn that if you're going to be successful, you need to be willing and accept the fact that you need to fail. And you need to
Yeah.
fail a lot because you need to try things. In other words, you can't fail if you don't try, but if you don't try, you go nowhere. The biggest thing about it, though, is learning from those things that didn't work, because that's what makes you learn and succeed. So, you know, you obviously started somewhere. There was some, one day before you were doing this, and then you started on a certain day. So I'd love to hear some of the non-success stories that you learned from. Like, tell us some things that didn't go the way you thought they would go, and then you realized, oh my God, okay, next time it's going to be different, so that we know what to avoid and
Yeah.
what to head towards.
Yeah, all right. So there's 2 good ones. So, well, first of all, I'm gonna do the technology side of it. Technology has been an ever growing. It's not necessarily a failure, but it's something that you're gonna learn. There's easier ways to do everything, so it's constant. So, I started with the camera and the tripod, and now for under $50, you can start doing this. Like, all you need is your phone, which acts as your camera. You need a lapel mic for $9 on Amazon, and you need a tripod for like $12. So that's all you need. And that technology is going to continue to improve. It's not necessarily something I did wrong. It's just something that has progressed over the years that's become easy. So that's the other part. If you're a startup, for $50, you can do referral marketing. That's all it takes. And a mistake I made, though, is once I started growing and I started getting introduced to more and more businesses, I started seeing opportunities to do like collaborative events, which I've had a lot of fun doing. So I'd bring this business together with this event, and I'd play Cupid, and we'd do an event together, which worked ish. I learned pretty early on that if I was the hero of that story and I took on all the responsibility and did all the things, it wasn't going to work. The first one I did was I went back to that brewery actually, and I knew the bakery people, and I did a cupcake and beers. So the bakery made a bunch of cupcakes that paired with the beers at the brewery, and they actually used some of the beer ingredients in the cupcakes and stuff. And I'm like, this is going to be great. It's going to be so much fun. 0 people showed up because I didn't lean on the businesses to also help promote it. I wanted to be the star. I wanted to have all the responsibility. I want to be the one saying what's going on, and that's not the way to do it. You got to share. I've learned that when you do events, everybody needs to stay in their lanes and everybody needs to do their things. Like you create some materials and content and you do the marketing and invite your audience, but also lean on the brewery and give them content and remind them that they need to put it out. Same with the bakery, and they need to get content. It's a teamwork together, and you're not the hero. You're a collaborator. You're the glue that keeps the two of them together once the event happens. And so I learned the hard way that I'm going to do events, but I'm going to do it with the business and continue giving the material and post them up as the hero and make them the center of attention. And I learned that the hard way and quickly, and it changed all the marketing I did after that because it was very, very early on.
Right.
But that was something I learned the hard way. Being the hero doesn't work.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
that's an important lesson, and that's exactly the type of
Yeah.
stuff I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, you
Yep.
know, really it's not about me, it's about us.
Yes.
And,
exactly.
you know,
Yep.
the whole concept, and I really want listeners to think about this for a second. The concept of pairing up with another business. It can be a business that's complementary to yours. It doesn't even have to be directly complementary to yours. But the idea of creating an event, cakes and beer, local community, business people,
Yeah.
really is something novel that people like because the other businesses are trying to promote themselves as well. So everybody wins when you come up with a creative situation like that. And like you said, as long as you're not trying to be it, you're just a part of it, you're making it happen, everybody is benefiting equally. The goodwill that you build from that and the exposure and everything else that we're talking about here,
Yep.
that's where it's going to be coming from. And, you know, there are unlimited ways to create that. There's not a
Oh, yeah.
single person listening to this
Yes.
now or ever, as long as this show lives, there's not a single person who cannot develop relationships like that. You just have to open your mind as to how you're going to do it.
Exactly. Oh yeah, I can't
Wow.
agree more. That's
Yeah.
the perfect way to do it. You know, like one of the greatest benefits is you start playing that Cupid. So once you start meeting enough businesses and this person's complaining that they like, I loved doing early on, the coffee shop in our area was complaining that the things you put around the mugs, those little holders, you ever
Yeah,
see those, the
the
insulators?
right.
They're like, yeah, they're like, God, this is eating at our budget. This is crazy. And I, at the same time, I happen to know a lender who was looking for creative ways to promote himself. And I'm like, dude, if you go in there and make these little coffee things for them, people will see your logo on these coffee mugs as they hand it out, and it'll be one less thing that the coffee shop's got to do. And so doing those little like marriages and kind of playing Cupid for businesses works awesome too, because again, you're adding value. I'm not the hero. Nobody knows I did it, but those business owners do. And they make a great pair and they work together now a lot. So
Yeah.
just little things like that. But you're right.
Wonderful.
Take
Wow.
yourself out of the center of attention. It's fun.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay. What other types of things? Well, let me ask you it this way. For you yourself, as you're
Yeah.
doing this
Yeah.
for your own business, how do you use any help, or how can someone get help? You know, I can understand if I'm a doctor, lawyer, whatever, accountant, real estate professional, whatever I am. Maybe I'm not good with social media and posting stuff. Maybe I don't know all the tools. I haven't had time to sit there and figure out the 9 million different buttons that I can click on YouTube and all this stuff.
Yeah.
What do I do? Like,
I
how do
always
I get help?
keep it simple. So yeah, all the systems in the framework that I talk about is keep it simple is always my theme, because I safely assume all the people that I work with have full-time jobs, and this is just meant to complement what they're already doing as a part of marketing. And it's supposed to help take a lot of the marketing off, because once you do a video with the local business owner, you now have like 5 or 6 clips you can pull from it too. So now you have the full video, you have 5 or 6 clips, and then from there you just got to decide, where are my people? If my people are on Facebook, cool. You know, you put a little bit of law firm stuff out there every once in a while, but you really do a lot of local content. And as you start doing these, you get more and more local content. You'll have like 5 or 6 full videos. You'll have 30 or 40 clips, and you can start recycling and using these. So it takes a lot of time off your plate because you have a lot of this content that people are actually interested in because they want to meet the person that owns the bakery. They want to know if the charity is doing the event this weekend. They want to know these things. And if you can go in there and meet some of them and help them out, even better. If your people, or I would say email, like make sure you're putting in emails because that's the greatest way to control your audience and know, everything. I also use it for follow-ups. So if I helped a person buy a house 8 years ago and I have to follow up with them every 6 to 8 months, every time I follow up and I'm like, hey, how's the family? That gets boring over. That's terrible too. Instead, what I'll do is I'll post a video of the taco truck and be like, oh, I got to fill up with Bob today. Hey, Bob, I did this recent video with the taco truck. I know how much you and your family love Taco Tuesdays. I'm following up, but I'm doing it in a much more fun way, and I'm adding value to the taco truck and Bob. And so it's checking all the boxes.
Right.
So you can have a lot of fun doing your follow-ups. You can have a lot of fun doing your content. You can have a lot of fun giving to the audience because you're giving content they care about, and it's helping the community. I mean, that's as a doctor, as a lawyer, that's really what you want to do. You want to be ingrained in your community. They want to be like, you're the person that everybody goes to when they have a law issue or they have a doctor's appointment they have to make because you're the community leader, right? So no better way to be the community leader than giving into your community.
Right.
I mean, that just seems like it's a natural fit. So,
right.
yeah.
And there's, another thing about that, which has always intrigued me is, I say that I'd like to understand the psychology behind a lot of this stuff as to why
Yeah.
people are doing what
Yeah.
they're doing. So
Yeah.
I remember, must be 15, 20 years ago, I went to this talk. I don't remember what the topic was, but I'm sitting in the front row and the person is on the stage right in front of me. I mean, it's in a hotel
Wow.
meeting room. So they're 10
Nice.
feet from me.
Front row Joe.
And then they have the big TV screens on the side so people in the back can see it better, if they're too far back, how the setups. And the person talking eventually hit upon this point. He said, there's something about screens that capture people's attention. And people will watch a video more than they'll watch real
Yeah.
life. And as he's
That's
saying
right.
that, I'm realizing he's 10 feet in front of me and I'm watching the screen. And I catch myself
funny.
doing that all the time. And my point
Yeah.
here is that if you put up a 15-second video of you at Bob's taco truck, that is
Yeah.
going to get much more attention and much more interest from people than if you put out a post that says, hey, I went and had some great tacos today in words.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just not
That's
going to
right.
get the same attention.
No, it absolutely
So,
won't.
yeah. So
Yeah. And
I
then
put a lot. Go ahead.
No, I always tell people too, like to make it even simpler, just do it interview style. Because
Mhm.
if you walk up to a business owner and do like the who, what, where, when, how, and don't make it any more complicated than that, you can make it systematize it. And honestly, most business owners are so excited about talking about their business that it doesn't take a whole lot. You throw some softball questions up there, and then they do a lot of the talking because they're so excited about their taco truck or their whatever it is. And so it doesn't take much. And even the ones that are like scared to be on camera at first, 99% of the time when they're done, they'll be like, that was way easier than I thought it was. Like, yeah, I threw a couple questions your way. We recorded it like we were having a conversation. And they'll ask to do it again. Like, hey, can we do another one in like 8 months? Because I have this going on. I have this going on. Absolutely. Put it in my calendar. Follow up, do another one. It's easy. So easy.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be easy. So if you're sitting there like, there's no way that works. That's too easy. Like, no, it's supposed to be easy. You have a
Right.
business to run. Your marketing shouldn't take 10 hours or cost you $10,000 a month. It should
Yeah.
be easy.
Yeah. And the other piece about that is the studies show that, people worry about, oh my gosh, I need to then go edit the video and then make it perfect. And
No.
I got to worry. Don't make it perfect. People don't want perfect.
Don't.
Those videos don't get watched. People want real people. If you stumble over a word, great. Leave it in. Let
fine. Just run
them
with it.
see that you're real. So, this is a great opportunity for me to put in a shameless plug for my new book.
Do it.
So I've
Yes.
taken a lot of this stuff that we're talking about here and the psychology behind what's going on, and I had to put it together for myself so I knew what was going on. And I said, you know what? Let me turn this into a book. So I created a book called Left of Trust. It's coming out in September of 2026. It's you can express interest now, and we'll have it up for pre-order soon. Just go to leftoftrust.com, and you'll be able to see more about the book. So there's my shameless plug, but I had to get it in.
No, that's good. We got to do a book exchange then. That's been my thing this year. I've been doing a lot of book exchanges. My book right there for those people that are like visually seeing this. But yeah, I'll send you a copy and send me a copy. I just got 3 in the mail yesterday from a couple of podcast people I had on recently. So we've been doing a lot of fun book exchanges. It's a blast. I love doing it.
Well, what's the
So we'll
title
have to
of
do
your
a book
book?
exchange. It's more marketing, the new currency. So basically, I tell it like a story. I learn through stories, and so basically, it's the story. It's a fictional version of what I went through. And so I made a new character, and he went through the whole process, obviously way faster than the 15 years it took me to kind of figure things out. He
Right.
figured it out in like 2 months, and you're like, it'd be nice if I figured it out in 2 months. But he just goes through the whole process of not getting any leads. He's trying to grow his business, runs out of leads, and starts meeting business owners just like I did, and the whole process. So it's the same concept, and it has all the guides and the handouts in it too. So it's really a do-it-yourselfer. So it's kind of a fun little book. But we'll swap. Once we're ready,
Great.
man, we'll do a swap.
Great. Yeah. So there's some more tips for the audience right there. Putting
Yeah.
out a book helps people understand more about your understanding of your business area. Doing a podcast, helping share,
That's
you know,
right.
information
Yep.
with
It's a
people
great
that
way.
this is, yeah, I mean, because people are seeking the information, and it's a lot
Yes.
easier to watch or listen to a podcast than it is to try and find some black and white writing on a page somewhere.
Yeah. So if you do podcasts, you can do podcasts with the community too. That works just as well as video commercials. If you're like, hey, listen, I really want to go audio, not a problem. But you have to make it mobile. Go to the local business owner. And they do that because 1, they're more comfortable in their own space and they'll talk more. 2, you won't get very many cancellations if you're going to the business. I was running into cancellation problems.
Right,
I'm like, I'm just
right.
going to come to you, man. We're just going to do this. And so all you need is I have a Yeti mic that plugs into my computer and I record it off the computer, and that's it. Keep everything you do so simple, but you can do podcasts. You can do videos. I just find videos is better because, like you said earlier, they see your face, and once they see your face and get to know you and what kind of person you are, it's just better for your business to grow faster. But you can do podcasts and stuff too. There's a lot of options. Whatever your give is, just get into it. Be like, have fun with it, make it scalable, and it's fun. Just have fun doing it.
Great.
Remember,
Well,
ice cream.
exactly. So Billy Salmons, we are out of time.
Yeah,
We
sorry,
could
that's
go
good.
forever on this, but
Oh my goodness, I can nerd out all day long.
yeah. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to give us sort of the final word here.
Yeah, yeah. So if you loved any of this stuff, I mean, I'm on socials and so forth too. I'm sure Andrew would throw it in there if you follow any of the content. It is a lot of fun. I have my own podcast as well where I bring on entrepreneurs, and I'm going to get Andrew on mine. And then go to the website. That's the best place. I know that's what people don't tell people to go to your website. That's so cliche, but it's got all the stuff on it, and I'm not redoing everything yet. But you just go to livelocalwarmarketing.com, and it's got all kinds of different things on it. The 5-day challenge is a great way to try it out. It takes you through 5 days, like 10 minutes a day, to see the referral system and on a diet version, a light version. And if you go through the 5 days, you're like, that was really fun. By the end of this 5 days, you will be able to add somebody to your CRM, to your email list. And if you're like, that was cool, then there'll be other options. But I just want you to try the 5-day challenge. Take a test drive first to see if you like it, and then we can take it from there. But that's the best
Okay.
place.
And give us the name of your podcast.
Live Local Warm Marketing Podcast. It's not very. It's pretty straightforward. I'm not very clever. It's Live Local Warm Marketing Podcast.
Hey,
Yeah.
the information
And
is the
like I said,
important
I'll
part.
have to hit you up. We'll have to have Andrew on mine. We'll have to swap because it's fun having people. It's fun seeing how the tables get turned.
Yeah. Happy to do it. Happy to. Obviously, you and I both love talking about this topic, so we could
Oh,
go
it's
on
fun.
forever about it.
Oh, days and
But
days and days.
we are out of time. So I want to
That's
thank
right.
all of you for listening in today on the Be Picked podcast. Hopefully, you're going to take away some great information that Billy has shared with you. Our goal is to help you build your business, not in the short term, but for the long term, so that you
Yes.
grow and prosper and hire more people and do good things. So join us. Actually, take a look at my website, www.bbe-picked.com. You can learn about the book there, and you can learn about our secret weapon, the credibility generator. I'm not going to say anymore. Go read about it. See you on another podcast. See you on Be Picked. If you are enjoying this content, please like and subscribe. Thank you.